Happy New Year!
Happy New Year's!
God,
that was
New
awful.
Year. That's a shitty joke. Woo! We're in 2014.
Woo!
Welcome to PostGrad Entertainment, your weekly podcast on movies,
and
right?
and us, or whatever it is that we talk about. What do we talk about?
It's your hosts. Who are you again? You're Cool Guy, right?
Yeah, my name's Cool Guy. Don't say anything about it. My name will remain Cool Guy.
Cool Guy spelled with a K and a U. And I'm the Cognitive Gamer. Our special guest, Father Time!
Oh my God. We are here.
Baby New Year!
We are here at the end.
We have 2 guests. We have 2 guests today.
Oh my God.
At the end of the year. Time to flip over the calendar or get a new one. You have to replace that dusty old cat calendar with a brand spanking new one.
Well, welcome everybody to the first podcast of 2014. While the Cognitive Gamer is over there eating some sexy chocolates, which you can't see.
It's chocolate that's shaped like fuzzy handcuffs.
That his girlfriend gave him because she didn't want to eat it.
Yeah, that's what it is. There's also one that's shaped like a very sexy chocolate lady, and her bra's falling off.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, so my New Year's resolution is to lose weight.
Okay.
I'm celebrating the last day of fatness, quote unquote, because I'll always be sort of chubby. We're going to Red Robin's, the most fat-ass place you can possibly go to eat.
Yum.
Yeah. I got a beer shake.
Right. The one that we demoed when we went over there.
That's right.
Before it was out. Yeah.
Right. So for those who don't know, a beer shake is a milkshake with a beer in it and a side of insulin and like a stomach pump for later. And then this is also Red Robin's, a place with bottomless French fries.
So what you're saying is you had a great
come
day.
with ranch, with ranch, and also a burger on top of that. So that was one meal. That was dinner. For lunch, I had pizza. For breakfast, I had pizza.
You've had a great day, haven't you?
A roast beef, a chicken, a pizza. Yeah, it was fantastic. In short, it was my fat day. That's some people are like, every day is a fat day for you. Yeah, but I mean, yes. So my New Year's resolution is to lose weight. So this will be the last soda I drink of ever, or at least not ever, but for a little bit.
Right.
It's a Diet Sierra Mist, which is unfortunate. But it's okay.
That's whatever. It's soda, I guess.
I didn't want anything with caffeine because tomorrow I leave for Disney World.
Woo! You're gonna have fun.
I have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning.
That's awesome.
So I'm not gonna have fun tomorrow, but the next day I'll have fun.
Okay, cool.
So I'm not gonna have fun on a plane, half cranky or full cranky.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So my New Year's resolution is to lose weight. So enjoy me having these fuzzy handcuff chocolates from Germany. That tastes like shit. That white stuff, that was the fuzzy part. Yeah. Tasted like toothpaste. That's disappointing.
That's great.
Anyway, so I want to make a wager with you.
Oh, wait.
I want to make a wager with you.
Okay.
I wager I can lose more weight than weight you can gain.
That you're gonna win that so easily. You know I can't gain weight.
And you know I like cake, so it's a win-win.
Okay. Okay.
Lose.
So there's this thing, right? Okay. Cognitive Gamer and I are like Timon and Pumbaa, basically. That's awful. You're not that fat, same as I'm not that skinny. But I
am that gassy though.
That's true. But the point remains. We're basically like Timon and Pumbaa. And I can't gain weight, and he just puts on weight, but because of muscle, because you're a sexy man. See how I made up for that? I made up for it really well.
I wish they could see us so they know that you're just not like, this fat ass needs some self-confidence.
Right.
Seriously, I'm a sexy man.
Totally not.
I mean, I have a girlfriend, so that helps.
Hey, you never know. She could have settled. I mean, there's also that option.
Burn.
But anyway.
That's what you get.
Jeez.
That's what you get.
God, that hurts. But anyway, it's hard for the Cognitive Gamer to lose weight, and it's hard for me to gain weight. So how about this? Our New Year's resolution is for you to lose weight and for me to gain weight. And we will see at the end of the year who has gone up or down the most. So the biggest number that we've gone up or down in a weight wins.
In a year?
At the end of the year, correct.
That's a long time.
You said it. So you said it was your New Year's resolution. It's for the whole year.
So how often do we weigh in? Like once every week?
No.
I was like, fat check.
No. We can weigh like every trimester or something. Have it be like report cards in high school.
I think like every month.
Every month? Okay. Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan. All right. So anyway, that's the deal. You lose weight, I gain weight. We see which number is higher at the end of the year. And at the end of the year, we will win something awesome. We will come up with it later. Yes?
Yep. The whip tastes better.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. Anyway, give me a short and sweet of your New Year's. How was it?
Fun.
Where'd you go? What'd you do?
Went to Denver with some friends. Played board games.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Drank a little. It was fun. It was just fun catching up with people.
Right.
Yeah, I went to Denver, had some fun. Watched Ryan Seacrest's countdown to New Year's. Like, not in person, on TV.
Right.
Does Puerto Rico get that?
I
imagine.
I suppose we do. I wasn't watching it, but...
What were you doing?
I was meditating and helping the world move into
like
the new year and such.
Doom.
No, not really that.
What do you do?
You just
how do you help the world? Is it like praying?
Through meditation. For those of you who have no idea, my entire family is basically like new agey pagans with a hint of Christianity.
How?
That just, it's weird. It's really hard to explain.
It's like trying to fit the round peg into the square hole.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So you were explaining this to me before earlier,
right? And
you mentioned these cards. What are these cards? Because that's what I was most interested in. Are they like tarot cards?
Yeah, kind of, a little bit ish.
So what does their future hold for you?
Spirituality and faith and whatnot.
Is that actually your fortune?
I guess. I mean,
it was like
the card.
You drew the devil, which means you're going to be spiritual. You drew the seagull, which means you're going to eat a lot and go to the ocean. I don't know. You drew the dropped penny. But it's face up, so it's good luck.
It was not that much tarot card. It was more of each one had like a little bit of a mantra or whatever in Hindi, a little bit of it in Sanskrit, and it had a translation at the bottom, and it was basically just telling you, almost like poetry, kind of. So, and that was supposed to tell you what the rest of the year would hold for you, depending on where you sat in the card you drew and such.
So you drank a lot and partied.
So I drank a lot and partied.
Between the meditation and these weird cards.
Exactly, yeah.
You got crunk. Is there any weird, like, New Year's Puerto Rican tradition? Like, we drop a ball.
Right.
From a big building.
And then it blows up.
No.
The movies have lied to me.
What movies have you seen that?
No.
Is it Flight 93? That's not on New Year's.
It's funny. No, the ball.
That's awful.
The ball.
So unpatriotic.
The ball drops, and then they launch fireworks, and everyone gets happy. Yeah, I know that.
Okay, so what happens in Puerto Rico? Does the taco drop and everybody gets hungry?
No, we just blow a lot of stuff up. The explosions, man. Holy crap, the explosions all over.
Seriously? Like fireworks?
Yeah.
I guess you probably don't have any restrictions on the type of
We
stuff,
do
right?
have restrictions, but it doesn't matter.
Okay. You're in the rainforest, so...
Right. But you can still hear it, and the smoke just came in like fog. It was awful. That's the only downside to New Year's, at least in my opinion. I don't know how it is in the US, but at least in Puerto Rico, they launch so many fireworks and stuff that it just, the whole place gets covered in smoke, and it's really annoying and hard to breathe.
It's usually too cold because so people don't want to go outside and light anything.
Right.
So I imagine it depends where you live.
Yeah.
So in Colorado, no, not really.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's 4th of July mostly is like that. So
yeah. So imagine what happens in 4th of July, except on New Year's, because Puerto Ricans don't really care about 4th of July. It's just like another holiday to us. All right. Well, anyway.
I think I'm done with this.
You're done with the crappy chocolate? You're going to eat the woman?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to. I'm going to frame her. Keep her for later.
That's gross. You're gross.
For imported German chocolate, not impressed.
Well, it's also shaped like a woman, so you know.
All right. So how was Crappy Life of Walter Crappy?
Oh, okay, all right. For those of you who
was the best part, the trailer music, because I love that song.
Just
I don't want to get sued because it's just so spot on. It's like I'm playing it for you.
So we're moving on. We're moving on to
Walter Mitty?
To our holiday movies, which is everything that we're going to do now. We're going to go through 4 different movies. Cognitive Gamer saw 3 movies, and I saw 3 movies. 2 of them overlapped. 2 of them did not. So I suppose I'll start with The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Okay, so
such a great. I like the trailer.
It is great. So on IMDb, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty has a 7.7. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 48% with a 44 top critic score, and on Metacritic, it's got a 55%. It is directed by Ben Stiller, based on the short story by James Thurber. It stars Ben Stiller, Kristen Wiig, Sean Penn, Adam Scott, and others. So, what would you like to know? You lead me in the discussion since I watched it and you did not.
Was it good?
Yes.
Why?
I do not think that it deserves the 48% on Rotten Tomatoes, honestly.
Why was it good?
Well, apart from the fact that the cinematography was gorgeous, it was directed wonderfully. Ben Stiller did a phenomenal job, and the cinematographer, whose name I forgot, did a fantastic
job. Better or worse
well.
Than Tropic Thunder?
Way better. You know that I hated Tropic Thunder, though.
How could you hate that?
You know that I hated Tropic Thunder. You know that.
Was a good movie.
You know that. I
survived.
I watched it with a bunch of my friends, and out of those friends, the 2 girls were really, really bored. The guy fell asleep, and then I was sitting there going like, I wonder when this movie's gonna end. So I guess I'll have to watch it again because everyone tells me it's a great movie, but I think it was god-awful.
I think it was pretty funny. I mean, it's ridiculously stupid.
Well, it is ridiculously stupid, and there were some funny parts, but I'm just saying, I didn't like it.
I'm not saying booty sweat and bust a nut. So
the thing is, Walter Mitty
is a comedy.
No, ish.
It's a horror movie.
No, it's
and A Secret Life is that he's a murderer.
It's way different.
People.
It is way different than Tropic Thunder, so I can't really compare the two. You know?
Okay, well, why?
It's just.
Give me some highlights. You could go into spoilers. I'll never see that.
You're not going to see the movie?
Probably not.
All right. Well, okay. So basically, what happens in this movie, the plot of it, is that this guy works as a person that develops negatives for Life, for the magazine, and Sean Penn is this photographer who's the whole 16 years that Ben Stiller has been working in Life. He always contacts him and they always talk, and he always sends him his rolls of film because he still takes photos with film, and Ben Stiller develops them. But what happens is the plot of the story is that Life gets bought out by another company, and all of a sudden they get their last roll of film from Sean Penn's character, and he says, I think that the best photo of my entire career is photo number 25 of that roll, and that one's going on the last cover of Life. And basically they lay everything out and they can't find number 25. It's missed.
So in the end, Ben Stiller shows up and Sean Penn saying, he's like, finally, you can take number 25.
No.
And then like they look over the mountainscape and he's like, you've made it.
No, that's not what happened.
Okay.
So anyway, what ensues is basically the fact that Walter Mitty, he really lives through his daydreams. He does really crazy things in these dreams, and they all play out according to how he wants his life to play out. But
in actuality, he's boring.
Yeah. In actuality, he's just. I wouldn't call him boring. I would just call him an individual that's stuck. You know, he's stuck because of his own life and because of his own situation. He's been doing the same job for 16 years. He loves it, but he hasn't really done much. He hasn't gone out. He hasn't spent time with other people. He hasn't traveled the world. Right. Stuff like that.
He's hopelessly in love with Kristen Wiig.
Well, she got there. She's new, and he's wanted to ask her out since she came in, but he hasn't had the courage to do so. And really, the parts that really stuck out with me very well were the bullying parts, because they had a lot of inter-office bullying towards him because of his daydreams, because he was a little bit absent-minded. He had some people that were supposed to be in charge of the merger and stuff, or one guy, Adam Scott, I believe his name was. and he was a bully to him or whatever. But it was really, really well done because it really made me feel bad for Walter Mitty. But the point is, he gets over the fact that he's living through his daydreams by going out and trying to find Sean Penn's character, kind of as a fill in the clues with 3 photos that he had in the camera roll. And he just goes and he tries to find this guy through Greenland and Iceland until he finally finds him on top of a mountain. And
why doesn't he just call him?
Because he that was actually really funny. They set Sean Penn's character up as this guy that was really old century, you know, so he has no phone. They don't know where he's gonna be. He takes photos in a digital age with a film camera. He sends messages through telegrams. He's just a really quirky guy. And in one of the scenes, basically, they go like, "Oh, so the guy sent us a telegram." Like, literally a telegram. There's an old man in the lobby right now. So the movie was really funny. It really was. It wasn't like laugh out loud funny. It was more of the quirky kind of funny that...
Like Ben Stiller. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. And Ben Stiller did a really good job as Walter Mitty, at least in my opinion. It was a film that really stuck out because, at least to me, it was weird because you weren't living vicariously through Ben Stiller's character while he was going out and venturing the world.
So it wasn't like Eat, Pray, Love?
No. And you were also not experiencing it yourself. It was more of a... I don't know, it was really weird. It gave me a really weird feeling because it was gorgeous. It was absolutely stunningly gorgeous, the entire thing. And I honestly don't understand the certain critics that say that the best part of the movie was when he was daydreaming, because the way that I felt was when he was going out, it wasn't about him having the adventures. It was about him expanding his life even in the smallest ways possible. His mom was supposed to move into an old person's home, but instead he kept her in his house while they moved her into a bigger villa or whatever. And basically it was the fact that he spent time with her. You know, it was an expanding of his horizons, the fact that he was spending time with his mother. And then when he went to Iceland, he traded a toy that his sister had given him for a longboard, and then he longboarded down a long road, and it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. It wasn't necessarily as much about the adventure, even though it was there. It was more about the growing of the simple life that this person had into something a little bit bigger. It wasn't necessarily crazy, the stuff that he was doing. I mean, he ended up in the top of the Himalayas at one point. That's the craziest thing. Oh, and punching a shark, but that's
and then the music is woo every time he does something.
Actually, the score was really great. I enjoyed the music and the sound engineering for the movie. But I think it's the same as with Gravity. It's not as good as Gravity at all. But the way that we describe Gravity, it's that if people didn't like it, they didn't get it. And I think it's the same way with Walter Mitty. If you didn't really like it, I think it's because you didn't really get the message that it was trying to tell you.
I think the people that say that the daydreaming sequences were the best part wasn't because it was the point of the story. I think it's because the rest of the movie was just boring comparatively.
I mean, I guess I don't really see it that way. I found the other parts as exciting as the daydreaming sequence. The daydreaming sequences were more there for comedy, for comedic appeal. But I really liked, the rest of the film. And it was great because they did some really interesting things with words. So, like, every shot, it was basically one step below a Wes Anderson film, the way that it was filmed. Stuff on dollies, really wide shots, zooming in basically to the character, close-up shots. It was very Wes Anderson-y, but without the crazy color palettes that he had. It was more of a normal, down-to-earth color palette. And the thing is, things appeared all over the place. So while he was walking, there was symbolism in the background. There were metaphors in the background. Or sometimes there were just words, just straight up words, because it was the metaphor of he was living his dream. So there were sentences outside with the motto of life, pieces of it while his airplane was taking off. It was written on the runway. It was wonderful. It really was.
Are you sure it wasn't because he worked for a magazine and those are words of the magazine?
But the thing is that they resonate.
Interpreted into real life. So now he's actually so the things that he wrote about are actually happening for real.
It was the motto of the magazine, but it was the motto that everyone there sort of took to heart, and at least he did.
And I haven't even seen this movie, and I totally get this movie.
At least he did it. But the thing is that the motto is what he should have aspired to the whole time. He should have aspired to life. That's the point. And it's basically the idea that life is worth living in your own unique way. Whether that's as simple as talking to your parents or going to your sister's play, or as crazy as climbing the Himalayas, or as interesting as getting into a bar fight with a bigger guy. I don't know. It's stuff like that. It's the fact that you should live life however you see fit. Just live it. Which is something that I think really flew over the head of a lot of critics. That's why I really liked it. I genuinely liked the movie. And the ending, the last bit, it was great. The ending got to me. It really, really did. Even though I figured it out halfway through the movie. And that's something else that I noticed. Even though I figured out what was going to happen halfway through the movie at the end end still got to me. Do you know how hard that is?
Sean Penn's dead.
No, because it's not a twist, really. It's not a twist at all. It's just
Sean Penn forgot to put it in the camera thing.
It's just a nice ending. It really is nice, and it's a movie that leaves you feeling happy. When I walked out of the theater, I was smiling.
Ben Stiller didn't need to find the picture anymore, and he took his own picture and put it on the cover of Life.
No. Anyway,
just tell me what happened.
No, I'm not going to tell you what happened. I genuinely want you to watch the movie because it's an artsy movie that I think you will enjoy. Right. I think you will enjoy it. You don't have to pay for it. You can wait till Redbox. But you all heard what I have to say. So that
y'all heard.
Honestly, I don't think The Secret Life deserves a 48. I think it deserves closer to the IMDb rating of 77 or an 80%. I genuinely think it's good. I liked it. So
does it get with Kristen? Does it get with the girl?
I'm not going to tell you.
So he does.
I don't know.
You know.
I don't know. Anyway.
You saw the movie, unless you forgot it. Did you get a concussion on the way home?
No.
You're a little bit absent-minded, because if so, if you had a concussion, you probably should put some ice on it.
Thanks.
And
thanks. Yeah.
That
helps.
And that's what I've learned at grad school about concussions.
All right. All right.
You should probably rest and not exert yourself. Exercise, there's a neurological cascading event happening. Your potassium channels in your brain are open as long as you sodium. I could read my slides from my last class again if you want me to.
No, that was awful. So
I was editing.
That was awful.
Hey, Dad, you want to say how much you liked Anchorman 2?
I hated that movie.
Why'd you hate that movie, Dad? Come here.
Weak acting.
The acting was fine. Okay. Father, why didn't you like Anchorman 2?
Weak acting.
Okay.
No plot. Terrible ending. I want my money back.
Can't do that.
Who could I call?
Probably Ghostbusters.
Probably whoever made that movie. Will Ferrell.
I want my money back and my gas money too that driving over there.
Gas money? You live around the corner.
Who cares?
How about the popcorn? Was it delicious?
Popcorn was good.
Popcorn was good. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first.
What did you think of Anchorman 2? Before we get into that, though, on IMDb, it's got a 7.2. On Rotten Tomatoes, a 74 with a 69% top critic score. On Metacritic, it's got a 61%. It is directed by Adam McKay. It stars Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, Paul Rudd, and David Koschner. Back to you.
Thanks. Well, guy. Well, you see the weather over here. That was fine. I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was stupid beyond belief, but it was really funny. I don't know. It wasn't really funny, like, oh my God, this is the funniest movie ever. Right. But it was, did you like the first Anchorman?
Yes.
You'd like the second Anchorman.
Really? Was it basically like Anchorman 1?
No, it wasn't like Hangover 2 as compared to Hangover 1. It was a different story. It was a different plot. The jokes were different, but it was still the same idiotic characters doing the same idiotic stuff.
Right.
Have you seen the movie?
Anchorman 2? No.
Are you going to see the movie?
Probably at some point. Yeah, keep it without spoilers.
I want to ruin it though.
No, keep it without spoilers.
So there's like one point during the movie, I generally was like, "Whoa, really?" Like it was actually a really good plot twist.
Yeah, don't ruin that for me, please.
And then there was a shark. And then it was stupid. I mean, for God's sakes, they have a pet shark, and they have like a whole song about having a pet shark.
They have a song?
Yeah.
So they just...
The movie's fucking idiotic.
How was the acting? How was the plot? How did everything flow? Was it directed well? Give me information, damn it.
It was a movie. They made jokes. There was a camera there, I'm sure.
Maybe 2.
There's cameras in maybe a few. Yeah, maybe it could have been multiple cameras. I don't know. I wasn't there. I could have been done on an iPhone for all I know. No,
this is quality.
It was good. Yeah.
This is a great podcast. This is quality right here.
No, it was good. The acting was... See, here's the thing. It's comedic acting, so they're not driving to the point of, well, I really believe that this character. It's them becoming a cartoon character, and in that sense, they acted well. We know Steve Carell isn't actually a mentally challenged individual who likes to scream a lot, because he screams a lot in this movie. We know Will Ferrell also isn't kind of this ignorant, larger-than-life guy who yells a lot. There's a lot of yelling in the movie. we know that the champ, or Chip, the cowboy guy, which I think is the guy with the weird last name,
right,
isn't actually a owner of a fried chicken store, but instead of chicken, they serve bats, and also racist. Like, we know this,
right?
But I mean, it's essentially like watching an adult cartoon in action. It was racist. It was crude. It was rude, but not in the sense of the actions. It was all the writing. I mean, there's a part where Will Ferrell goes to, I think it's a family dinner with his new girlfriend who happens to be African American,
right,
or black, and
it's just all black jokes.
Yeah, I think he calls them like crack smoking, crack smoking bitch asses or some garbage like that, and you're like, oh my god, like it's some really offensive stuff. So I mean, it's the same humor as the first movie, except taken probably to a new level.
Right.
I mean, there's definitely highlights, and some of the jokes fall flat. Some of them are like, that's so stupid.
Right.
But then again, this is a movie that you'll be quoting randomly, just on and off. Like, who still doesn't say randomly, I love lamp, from the first freaking movie? Or 60% of the time, it works every time. Like, it's funny.
It's true.
And you're doing the same thing. Like, I'm already saying, when you're with a woman and you go down and you expect angel hair pasta, but this one time I found the Battle of the Bulge. And it's like, wow, that's pretty great. That's pretty funny. So
that's gross.
That's, yeah. As far as the ending goes, yeah, it was completely ludicrous and stupid. But I feel, again, it's going back to, it was like watching a cartoon. But it was actually pretty set in reality until that ending, where the ending just went, we don't care anymore.
Right.
And I personally thought it sucked, but I know some people loved it. So
okay.
I mean, for God's sakes, it was so fucking stupid.
Fine, I'll go watch the movie. Though wait, do you think that the Rotten Tomatoes 74, 69, Metacritic 61, or IMDb 7.2 is closer to the rating you would give it?
All pretty much around the same range of like 60 72. I think it's about right. Probably around the 65 to 69 range.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
so it wasn't as good as the original, is what you're saying.
It was about on par with the original.
Really? Okay.
I wasn't, like I said, I thought the original was funny. I just wasn't that person that was like, oh my god, Anchorman, scotch, da-da-da-da-da.
Mustache.
Like, I thought it was funny,
right?
And I still think it's funny, but it's not amazing,
right?
It's not the best comedy I've seen in years. I honestly can't tell you the best comedy I've seen in years. Maybe This Is the End. I think This Is the End was funnier than Anchorman.
We'll see. I'll have to watch it and see if I agree.
Yeah, but you hate those movies.
I hate Will Ferrell movies, and I did not like that. Well, I thought it was meh. This Is the End. So.
And there is no, of monsters and men going, ooh, ooh.
But yeah, you would recommend it.
It was enjoyable.
Basically.
Yeah, if you like the first movie, you'll like the second movie. If you thought the first movie was stupid as shit, don't see this movie, because you'll think it's stupid as shit.
Oh.
By stupid shit, I mean very, very unintelligent. It's very unintelligent humor.
Right.
But wrapped around, it's intelligent, unintelligent.
Gotcha.
Kind of like Arrested Development, but it's not on that level of wit.
Right.
But I mean, it's still the same thing where, we can finish each other's sandwiches. Yeah, like that's stupid, but it's presented in a witty fashion.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But maybe not on that level of wit again,
right.
because, making terrible racist jokes are almost lazy.
Yeah,
so
that's actually true. All right, anyway, so with that, we are moving on to American Hustle, which on IMDb, it has an 8.0. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 93 with a 96% top critic score, and on Metacritic, it's got a 90%. It is directed by David O. Russell and stars Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Jennifer Lawrence, and Louis C.K., among others.
So what else did this guy direct?
He directed Silver Linings Playbook and The Wrestler, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, those are great movies.
Yes, they are. He's a good director. He really is a good director. And we talked a little bit about this movie, just kind of teased it in our previous...
I think we should just say it's good and move on.
No way. Are you kidding me? In our previous podcast, we kind of teased it a little bit. We didn't really talk about it. So in this podcast, we are going to go a little bit in depth to the things that we liked a little bit more and all that. And we both saw it. So this time around, we can go back and forth. And I would like to start with the stupid light.
Why did you hate it?
No.
Why didn't you like it?
No, I liked all of it.
Didn't you?
I liked all of it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
There wasn't a part you didn't like?
No.
Yeah, I liked it all.
Do you know a part that I really liked? That light explosion when they're going into the place and all of a sudden the light explodes and there's smoke wafting in through everywhere and you get the camera dollying and you just see the people coming out of the smoke and just kind of posing.
Yeah.
Just everything.
No, I know. We mentioned that last podcast. Hey, Dad, did you like American Hustle? Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was a good movie.
No one's buying that. No one's buying that. But yeah, I like the light explosion. I like
that was a good part.
I like the
I like the subtle humor in that shot too, which was the fact that Amy Adams permed her hair to look like Bradley Cooper. Which is just hilarious.
Her perm was hilarious. She looks so funny. I just love how they all struck a pose after they came out of the mist. It was like whoosh, just looking at each other and being all freaking 70s. God, they were 70s.
And the fact that Pina was supposed to be the Arabic sheik. That's great. You have a Mexican playing the sheik.
I just loved when he started talking. He had the typical Californian accent, basically Mexican Californian accent, and it was hilarious. That was A+. But I love the fact that the movie started out with all of the olden times, the Columbia logo was old. Did you notice that in the beginning?
Kind of.
The Columbia.
It was very 70s.
Yeah, it was a 70s style logo, and it was all really 70s or 80s. And then it just starts out with the basically black screen and the words that say some of this stuff actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as I saw that, I went this is going to be a good movie. This is going to be a great movie. And then an uncut shot of Christian Bale fixing his toupee.
And his gut.
God.
And his gigantic gut.
Holy God. That toupee, man. That freaking toupee. Oh my God.
Did he actually shave his head for the movie? Or
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if he had a bald cap
or did they just make his hair look like a toupee?
I don't know if he had a bald cap on or something. I have no idea. But the point is, it was freaking hilarious. And Bradley Cooper and Christian Bale's dynamic was fantastic. Both of them together, going one off of the other, that type of thing. It was freaking great. And one more thing that I would really like to touch on is the fact that holy hell, breasts everywhere. Boobs all over the place. Everyone.
Not really.
They were all hanging out, all of them.
That's not true.
Oh, come.
Jennifer Lawrence didn't.
Yes, she did. That dress in the last bit, come on.
Yeah, but there wasn't full nipple.
Well, you were you were. Go on.
I was disappointed. I think all of America was like, Amy Adams is naked, which was weird because I think of her as the Enchanted Amy Adams or the Muppets Amy Adams, and I'm just like, this is gross. It's like seeing Disney princess.
It was really weird with Amy Adams being sexy because she was being legitimately attractive, and it was really, really weird.
No, I thought she was actually quite ugly in this film.
Really?
I thought that was on purpose.
Well, yeah, they made her look uglier when she
like there's parts
the no makeup on when she was crying a lot.
Yeah, in a lot of scenes she didn't have any makeup on, or even makeup to make her look worse, or smear her makeup to make her look worse. And I thought that was a point to saying, like, that's the real her, because that's her real emotions that she's showing.
Right.
It's the fact that when she's actually ugly, because she was actually an ugly person, because she's fucked up. And then the whole, it plays along with her whole accent that she was faking the entire time, and so on and so forth. So I think that was really well done with her character, especially having the lighting and the lack of makeup to make her look like a worse person in certain scenes, and just make you feel kind of like she is really not attractive. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
so that was a little heartbreaking as well.
Except for the fact that one scene where she basically seduces Bradley Cooper, not when she gets pushed into the bathroom and whatnot and does the whole bending over the toilet, which was very metaphoric. But I'm talking about that first scene when Bradley Cooper like goes up to her or whatever and pushes her towards him. That was a very hot scene. That was done very well with the camera work and with both of their acting. It was phenomenal. And there's just so many good things to say about this stupid movie. Oh my god.
I think Christian Bale's acting was phenomenal.
It was.
I think, oh my god, it was so good.
He was great. He really played the person that was conflicted very, very well. Because he was. Yeah. And I was conflicted too. I was conflicted with him because I was.
For such an unethical man, he played almost the moral compass, which was very interesting.
Well, that's because he bent the rules of ethics until he saw how far it could bend. So he found his own line, basically, where he originally thought there was no line, I guess. But he ended up finding out that he really didn't want to get involved with that. And that scene with the mobsters,
intense.
Dear God, it was intense. I was
Robert De Niro.
I wasn't expecting that
in a non-crappy role,
and all of a sudden he just shows up. He was fierce. He was in
Goodfellas. Have you ever seen Goodfellas?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that whole movie was essentially Goodfellas.
Right. But he was great. He was really fierce. His eyes just shot bullets through you. It was terrifying.
It's weird to think that he's a good actor, and it's weird to think that people actually won't remember him in good acting. They're just going to remember him for Last Vegas and Grudge Match and Meet the Parents and The Fuck Two, and they're totally gonna miss out with the fact that he was a fantastic actor.
God, you're completely right. That's he is a phenomenal actor. But everybody in this movie outdid themselves. Everybody, every single person, and freaking Louis C.K. playing.
Okay, Louis C.K.'s acting was pretty sometimes abysmal. Comparatively.
Well, yeah. Compared to all of these people, yeah. But that's because the entire time he was getting taken advantage of. And he's like, oh, no one's going to take advantage of me now. Hope, I guess they did.
He pretty much played the Louis C.K. from a show.
Right, Louis, yeah.
Yeah.
Except,
so he played himself.
Except less funny and more depressing, I guess. Louis is depressing, but not as depressing as this guy. He was pretty damn depressing. But I really enjoyed the dark comedy throughout this entire movie. It was honestly, people were saying really good things about it and all that stuff, and I had no idea that it was based on a true story and whatnot in Philadelphia. But before I went in,
how much of it actually was true though? And it was New Jersey, not Philadelphia.
Well, right, yeah.
I mean, it's close. But.
Yeah. How much of it was true? I mean, the politician was involved in all of this type of stuff, and they caught him and all that stuff. The guy never got recognized, the police officer, but the overall story was true, but the details of it were off, basically.
Like most movies like that.
Yeah. Like most movies that are based off of anything, except for No Country for Old Men.
That was accurate to a T.
That was literally straight out of the book. But what did you think of the ending? Him ending up with Amy Adams and them being happy or whatnot.
Like I said, I don't know why this director always loves having the fairy tale ending and everything. Like that was my main complaint with Silver Linings Playbook as well. But
the ending was too happy. So good. It was so
too
good.
Happy. Too happy.
So good.
But I forget who it was, but somebody mentioned and likened this film to Goodfellas, which I'm like, oh, totally. And the ending was totally like Goodfellas, where essentially I got away with all of it, but the things that I had to do to get there was pretty effed up, and also I still crave it. Like it didn't show that these bad things actually mattered.
Even though he didn't crave it at the end, he was done with that. He had a legitimate business and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he was still cheating on his wife. I mean, she was cheating on him by that point. So I mean, they were divorced. But I'm saying, like.
But it doesn't count. He was basically.
So part of his old life was still there. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just love the fact that his wife moved with this other guy, and then she's just so pissed at the end of the thing. She's like, yeah, whatever, it's a normal marriage at that point. They've gotten over their infatuation with each other from the beginning. And she's like, well, now I'm back to square one, basically. Yeah. That was great. Freaking Jennifer Lawrence. God, she was so annoying.
I hated her.
So annoying.
Like, that character was miserable.
Did you notice when they were fighting near the end of the movie, basically yelling at each other because she had told her stupid boyfriend person what was going on with this guy, Christian Bale, and he's trying to make up with her or whatever, and then she just starts going on and on and on and talking, and you just in the background, whenever he's he has his hand on his forehead, and you just hear like a low rumble, like oh, and then all of a sudden and then it just goes like oh, bing, and he's like, yes, honey, I think this or that. Oh my God. That was hilarious. That low rumble and then a tiny little pink. As soon as he caught himself and he tried to modulate his emotions. It was wonderful. This whole movie, awesome. Awesome.
A+. I think it was in our top 5 best movies of the year.
It was in our top 5 best movies of the year. And you know what movie almost got to our top 5 best movies of the year?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf
on Wall Street.
Or Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf on Wall Street?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf not Juan.
Of.
All right, so how'd you like it?
All right, so on
IMDb, it has a 62%.
No, on IMDb.
On Metacritic, it has an 82. Top critic score of 100 billion pistachios. And then over on the okay, no, seriously, what do you have?
This is why I do this. So on IMDb, it's got an 8.8. On Rotten Tomatoes, a 75 with a 70% top critic score. And on Metacritic, it's got a 75%. It is directed by Martin Scorsese, none other than him. It stars Leo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Margot Robbie, Matthew McConaughey, Kyle Chandler, Rob Reiner, John Bernthal, and John Fairview, among a ton of other fantastic cast people. And
thank you for that.
Just say,
so
holy hell, that beginning.
No.
Holy hell. When you said that the beginning was obscene last week, I was like, okay, I'm kind of ready for obscene. I was not ready for obscene. I was not ready for obscene.
Beginning of that weekend, you want to run it down for us?
Dear Lord, there was drugs and boobs and sex and snorting cocaine out of hookers' assholes. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that did happen in the movie. Hey Dad, what'd you think of The Wolf of Wall Street? No?
I like The Wolf of Wall Street. Very good.
What'd you like about it?
I like that it was
tits.
There's lots of naked ladies in it.
That's always a benefit.
Yeah, that was a good plus.
You just took a man that didn't have anything and became a millionaire, then didn't know how to keep it and lost it all.
So that was entertaining to you?
It shows that anybody can become rich. You put your mind to it.
And it shows that anybody can lose everything.
And you can also lose everything.
Is there anything you'd like to add to that review? Since you're waiting? No? Okay. So yeah, the movie had a lot of boobs and stuff.
And a lot is an understatement too. That movie was chock full of breasts.
It was kind of gross.
It was gross.
There was one scene.
There was DiCaprio.
Yeah, DiCaprio.
He runs like a girl.
Did you just say he runs like a girl?
He must, because I've seen him in 3 movies.
Okay.
Prior movies before.
Yeah.
Where he runs like a girl.
So he runs like a girl.
And then
he's paid to act, not run.
No, it's not acting. This is actual running.
Yeah, no, it probably is his actual running.
And he runs like a girl.
Like he runs like, okay. How about Catch Me If You Can? He does a lot of running in that movie. Did he run like a girl?
I'm sure if you go through it, you can see where he ran like a girl.
Okay. Next time I watch that movie, I'll do scene by scene and see if he runs like a girl. Did that affect?
One scene in this last movie where he was running, and they just showed it for like 2 seconds, and he was running the same that he always runs.
Okay. Like a girl.
I always thought it was a Wilbur Grape kind of thing that he was doing, but
he wasn't. Oh wait, he was a special, the special kid in
I thought that's what he was doing.
Gilbert Grape.
No, that's just how he runs.
Oh, so you're saying he runs like he did in Gilbert Grape.
Exactly. That's his normal run.
And this is his normal run. So he runs like a special woman. Well, it's more running than you've done in a while.
Oh.
Just saying that.
All right, how about we show them?
I'm not a bastard. I'm just saying you can get on the treadmill. That's all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he gives the movie a 5 out of 10 for woman running of DiCaprio.
So, what did you think of the movie? Just tell me. Obviously, if American Hustle was dark comedy, this movie was
dark comedy.
Like dark comedy to the extreme.
So let me ask you something. If you did the top 5 after you saw this movie, would you put it there?
Yes.
Or no? Yeah?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I would put it. I didn't put it in my top 5. And the reasons for that is it was okay. And I think I liked it. It was funny. It was entertaining.
It was really funny.
It was a little bit overly long. Like the movie's 3 hours long.
But I didn't feel it though. I didn't feel that it was 3 hours long. And I was with my freaking brother, and he told me afterwards, I know this, but he told me afterwards that if a movie is longer than like 2 or so hours, he starts getting like sleepy and bored with the movie and uncomfortable in his seat and stuff like that. But in this movie, it held his attention the whole way through, and the entire group that I was with did not feel that the movie was 3 hours long. We thought that it felt shorter than it actually was, because it was basically the guy's entire life. Come on.
Yeah, I know it was.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it was overly long in parts. I definitely felt the drag.
When?
And yeah, I was entertained.
What part, for example?
Especially after he starts talking to the cops. It starts just slowing down.
Okay.
I mean, it starts growing old. The part where he has to go to Sweden and like the night before they're partying or whatever, you're like, why are you showing 10 minutes of him partying? You know that he's crazy and out of control. You don't need to show this. You could have done 2 seconds, flashes of him going crazy, and then jump to him at the meeting with the Swedish guy, him talking, and then it not registering with him, and then it bursts into actual consciousness, and you get the whole entire point of that 10 minutes in like 1 minute.
But see, the thing is, don't me. Don't me.
But you see, it's actually genius.
I am going to.
It shows that he's out of control for the umpteenth millionth time.
Oh no. No. See, it's the point of the movie is that it's trying to show that this guy revels in excesses of everything, excesses of money, of exes.
We're talking about Scorsese and his filming of movies.
No, not
because it was a little excessive.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying that the person that he was playing, okay, Leo,
right.
Him as a character, he loves excess of everything, money, women, drugs, people around him worshiping him, everything. He cannot stop. And I think that this movie, being Scorsese's longest movie by 1 minute, I think that the entire movie is a study in excesses and a study in how excessive everything can be, including the movie itself. Shots were longer than they should be on purpose. The movie was long on purpose. You were supposed to get tired, and it was supposed to get old for you, and you were supposed to realize, man, this guy is living a life that I kind of wouldn't want to live, because I would get tired, I would go crazy, and yet the guy keeps doing it because he can't stop. That's the point.
But you could have gotten that even without some of those scenes being overly long.
The thing is, it was done in that way on purpose. I know that you can get it without it.
No, I get it. No, I get it that it was on purpose. But at the same time, just because you're trying to, you can put that emotion on an audience without it having to be overly long just because of that type of reason. You can convey that message without being, hey, I'm going to show 10 minutes of kind of boring repetition. Because when you see a movie, yeah, I get it. It's for the art. It's for the art and the conveyed message. But at the same time, you don't. That's stupid.
I don't know. That's also
that was the other part of it that I was very. Yeah, I know. The other part of it I didn't really get was what was the message that it was trying to convey? Is it saying that money's bad? Is it saying that money's good? Is it saying that living like this is totally worth it rather than a mundane lifestyle? Is it saying that this person is actually better than the other people? That being mundane is actually not worth what this man actually had? And I'm going to say that you're going to say it was a study in excess and it being a life you never had. But to counter that, what the whole scene with the policeman on the subway and he's reading the newspaper and he looks around and looks back at the newspaper, even though he did a good job, there was no emotion. It almost looked like he was sad. He realized his life was crap compared to this guy he put in jail. It's almost saying that even though that this person, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, who's actually a real person and actually had an appearance in the movie.
Really? In what part?
He's the one who introduced him at the very end.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
He's actually good looking. I was surprised at that. He looked better than Leonardo DiCaprio, and I was like, weird.
That's true. Okay,
but but anyway, it shows that the policeman's life actually sucked. Even though he was the guy punching in the time cards from 8 to 5, he was the normal person, and it showed that DiCaprio's life was kind of awesome compared to that. He had yachts, he had money, he had women. It showed everything. So is the message then, does life just suck for everybody, even those type of people? Is it that if he played it better, he could just have all his money and not, like, he could have had his cake and eat it too? I mean, that was another part of it. So I'm not quite sure what the message was conveying. And the other part of it is it saying that so essentially at the end of the movie, it shows him going person to person, going, sell me this pen. And they're failing miserably to do what a drug dealer could do in 2 seconds. So obviously that symbolically shows that he's kind of stuck. He's stuck in this life that's boring, and he's right back at where he started. He lost everything, and he could never start back up again. Because essentially he's telling these people, can you sell me this pen? They can't do it. And that was the first question he said to get his business started.
Right.
So symbolically it's saying he's back to where he was, but he's not going anywhere. And then it shows these faces of these really sad, normal class people that are getting taken advantage of. So is it saying these are not the people you should idol? Should you not be in this audience? Or should you just not be a normal person because being a normal person sucks? I don't know what you're trying to say here. And maybe you're trying to convey all these messages once and it's just getting lost. Because obviously this was a movie with a message. But my father would tell me I'm wrong. And he says, no, it's just a story about a guy and it's really entertaining. And I'm like, that could just be it too. Suppose he could have just said, you know what? This is just a movie about an interesting guy and I want to show it for the masses. But at the same time, that's kind of lame if that's really it. And there's not an underlying message, but who the hell knows? So
to go off you, I think that there is an underlying message. And I think that I was thinking about that pan to the audience in the end, right, when it just stays there in the audience. And it hit me a little while later. And I thought, a mirror. It's a mirror. We are watching basically a stage play of his life, exactly what he was doing in the beginning, because everyone broke the freaking fourth wall. Everyone, the naked women, when it would dolly over to a door and they would open a door and kind of look at the camera and pose and then walk to do whatever sexual act they were going to do, as well as Leo, as well as a bunch of the other characters, they all broke the fourth wall all the time. Right. It was basically a reflection of us. We are people that are basically continuing or pushing forward in our mundane lives. And we are trying to learn from these people that we think have all of the answers when in reality they don't. And when in reality they're just as bad as us, except they have more money. But they have the same types of problems, the same types of mistakes, and they make the same types of mistakes. And if
not worse.
If not worse, because they have money. And the thing is, the thing is that with that money they get that added awfulness that happens in their lives. You know, they lose the people that are close to them, the people that cared the most. They get people that are shallow. They don't live with great relationships. They lose themselves to money. They lose themselves to this pressure and this need to do more and have more, which is completely unnecessary because you can live an awful life without all that money. Is basically the.
Could it also be that it was a mirror? And that's what I was trying to say. It conveys that we're that audience,
right?
But it shows us that we're idiots because we just paid money to watch this guy have his life being destroyed when we can actually be that guy and go out there and live that life. So that's what I'm saying. It's this constant message of you want to be him. You envy him in so many ways.
But at the same time, you're watching
and even though at the end it was a complete train wreck and his entire life blew up, it's self-destructed, still better than your life because you're just fucking sitting there. And this is kind of like, I don't agree with that, if that's what that's trying to say. So let me try to find something else. Is Martin Scorsese saying our lives suck?
It's just, I don't...
Or is he saying all life sucks? Because that's essentially the message you're picking up and saying, hey, even people like this guy, his life sucks, and your life sucks, so life just sucks. So is that the message you're trying to convey, cool guy, that life sucks?
See, the wonderfulness of this movie is the fact that we can interpret it in so many different ways.
I know.
But at the same time...
I don't know if that's wonderful. I mean, it's wonderful, but at the same time, it's kind of gross because some of those messages are kind of gross. And
that was actually one of the things that I think that you read, same as me, and it was about that one person that went to see Wolf of Wall Street in Wall Street, basically, in a movie theater by Wall Street, and all the people that were there were Wall Street people and stockbrokers and executives and all that. And basically what was going on was that they were cheering. They were cheering for his infidelity. They were cheering for all of the drugs that he was taking. When he took drugs again, when he ripped open the seat cushion to get drugs again, they cheered. You know, they were basically, every time that there was something morally reprehensible that was going on, they would cheer. And that is disgusting.
Can I just say they likened actors to animals in this movie? I mean, that was the whole point, that Wall Street is just full of animals that are unethical and no better than animals
basically. Yeah. No,
right.
Yeah.
But then it also likens the normal audience sitting in the audience to morons. So, I mean, I don't know.
But I think basically what he's saying is that it's up to us as an audience to stop watching these people and stop trying to emulate them. We're sitting there and we're watching these people going like, yeah, I want to live like that, you know? But at the same time, it's our job to take the moral high ground. It's our job to learn from the stupid crap that these people get into.
But that's not what's happening, because this is the audience that's sitting there watching him and paid money to see him and learn from his advice.
Yes, but it's also it's saying, look, this is a mirror of who you are. Is this who you want to be? It is the message that was conveyed through it is the message that was conveyed through the entire movie. It was basically a movie saying, do you want to be like this person? And a ton of people went, heck yeah. But personally, me, I went, no.
Point is, I
think
it's great that we can have this discussion, but at the same time, the fact that the point of the movie was so far buried or convoluted, because we're picking out the same exact scenes and getting something different, and I'm sure we can get another person, same thing. Like, that's great, but that's really, really vague, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't know. If you're going to try to convey a message throughout the entire movie, I feel like it should be pretty played out. Or he's switching messages multiple times, or is just trying to give you a bunch of messages. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I'm not some kind of film critic.
What did you think of the acting? Because I thought Leonardo DiCaprio stole the show.
Gatsby, great.
I think
as Gatsby, he just did a good job.
No,
essentially that's all he did. He played Great Gatsby, but on cocaine.
Did he really?
Kind of, yeah. It was like the arrogant, pompous, I'm richer than you feeling, and then it also took his what's his other latest role?
But he was crazy in this movie. He was a legitimate insane person.
I mean, he played the same character he always plays, just with more drugs. Yep.
His acting,
I thought it was good acting.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, it was very, very good.
It was phenomenal.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it was Leonardo DiCaprio.
But I do think that he should at least get a nod in the Oscars. At least a nod.
It's probably not even going to get nominated.
Yeah. Well, let's just say he'll get nominated. He just won't win. It's like Leo's thing. Get nominated for an Oscar, lose.
Has he been nominated?
He's been nominated tons of times, and he's never won.
He's not going to win this year.
No, he's not going to win this year either.
We already talked about this.
Yep, there's no way.
12 Years a Slave. Yeah, there's no way. Jonah Hill might win.
Yeah, he could.
Again.
He could. Yeah. But, I mean, he did a really good job, in all honesty. He did a really good job. Though, okay, the most important question that will ever come out of Wolf of Wall Street. Did you think that the guy, Brad, John Bernthal, who was the same guy as in The Walking Dead, do you think that his facial hair was fake?
No, I thought it was real.
Really? It just didn't look like the type of hair that would grow out of his face.
Well, it was just weird because he was also ultra tan, like fake tan.
Yeah, he was.
So the fake tan with real hair just kind of looks strange, I feel.
That's true. Yeah, that's definitely true. Though,
were those muscles real?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I also felt it needed more of this friend lived a great life and then died horribly.
That's true. I can't believe
that happened twice in that movie. I'm like, oh, see, that's another message being like, this life is great, but sucks.
Yeah. No, I mean, then again, isn't all life though? Then we're back to square one.
God. I felt bad for the wife.
I did too.
That whole scene where he's reading the newspaper and yelling to his wife, that was totally a nod to Citizen Kane. Just FYI.
It was great.
I'm sure there's lots of nods in that movie. Martin Scorsese loves this classic movie.
That's true.
So. Anyway, point is, it was a good movie. It was probably one of the best of the year. I still put it at number like 6. It was very close, but Frozen, man, Frozen.
Okay, what was your favorite scene from Wolf of Wall Street?
It's the one where he's in the hotel and he's walking, and just naked women everywhere. But it's a slight movement where he just reaches over and just grabs one girl's boob.
Oh, right. When he's waking up after the turmoil.
Why would you do that? That's so gross. Like, it was just gross. It's just gross.
And
he's looking over his entire empire.
Is that when he walks over and she, he pulls the sheets off of her and then he feels her face and goes like, nope, that's a face. And then goes for the boob.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Was that the one in the hotel room?
There were tons of times when he just felt the woman's breasts. It happened all the time. That was the time when he was naked and he just walked up to his empire and looked.
Surprised he never got slapped in any of those scenes. I mean, it was horribly excessive and gross. Like the whole thing where they were talking about prostitutes they would hire and like the levels of prostitute that they each were.
Yeah, it was. Oh God, so many gross things.
It was almost too male centric. It was kind of.
Well, the thing is, it was saying. It was saying these people are disgusting.
Right, I know.
It was going like this behavior is disgusting.
Yeah,
and I completely agree. But anyway, my favorite
Jurassic Park 3D is probably my favorite. Yeah,
my favorite scene was when he was calling the dude that was his PI, and then all of a sudden he starts going like and slurring his voice into his.
That whole scene where he was like totally
he was going like and just trying to like pull himself towards the car, and you just get like he reaches the stairs and all of a sudden boom, you see the stairs and then you see the car and then you see a shot of his face and he's just drooling all over the stairs and then a shot of the car again, and I'm like,
no, they showed a shot of the stairs, and then it showed a shot of the car, then a shot again of the stairs, but it was different stairs.
Yeah,
they look exactly like those stairs, and there's like just added
5 or 10 more steps. I love how the stairs kept growing. It was hilarious. Oh my God!
And then he just went for it. It's very Kill Bill-esque. Where he rolls himself down, and then still with his one toe of movement was able to open up a car door.
He was just like, I can roll, and he just like rolled up into a ball. Oh Jesus Christ! And then like he drove, and he was like, I made it. It was perfect. And then he gets pulled out by the cops, and the car was demolished. And you get like the real scene of what happened, and he was there like, just like crashing into everything. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a pretty good sequence. It was pretty great.
They set that up phenomenally, amazingly. That was great.
It was a good movie.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
The Conjuring, man. How could you beat The Conjuring? It was the best horror movie in years.
All right. So yeah. So I think
I have to go. Bye.
What? So with that, we are done. If you want to contact us to give us any type of suggestions or whatnot. Next week, we return to our regularly scheduled podcast as opposed to these specials that we've been having. So if you want to send any stuff to us, any suggestions for our Netflix movie spotlight, you can email us at postgradentertainment@gmail.com. You can also contact me through Twitter at the WritePad, WRTE as in writing, and the Cognitive Gamer at Cognitive Gamer. Also,
not the Cognitive Gamer, just Cognitive Gamer.
Yes.
COGNITIVE.
Gamer, exactly. You can also find us on YouTube by looking up PostGrad Games. We are there, and we also have our old podcasts where if you click on the links in the description, you can skip to certain parts if you don't want to hear us ranting about crazy stuff. Also, the Cognitive Gamer has a couple reviews up on
electricfeast.com and IGN.com.
So, yeah, in IGN.com, you can basically either go to IGN and find him there, or the easier way is to go onto Google, type in IGN and Cognitive Gamer, and you should probably find him if you do that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really hard to find blog. But you can join our Facebook.
We have a Facebook group. Facebook. How awesome. How awesome.
Well, it's a page. It's not a group. We could make a group if people want to come in contact with one another, but mostly it's a promotional tool, and I'll make sure to put up links to my blog so everybody can read it.
Exactly, and to all of the podcasts. So, thank you all for staying with us throughout the beginning of our podcast and through into the new year. I hope you all had a phenomenal 2013, and I hope that 2014 is as awesome as we hope it'll be. We hope to bring you great new stuff and new programming this year, and with that, thank you all.
Fireworks time.
And we will see you next time.
You want me to play
He's actually going to end it with that. You're actually going to end it with that, aren't you?
Yeah, right.
You're going to end it with that. Oh, God. No. Earphones out. Oh, God.